What time is it? It's time for Torie Talks. Let's go!
Hey guys, welcome back to Torie Talks. I know I haven't been on here for a little while. I am super excited to be back. I took a little break because I was working on some music and I just didn't really have time to record a podcast episode, but we are back and I am so excited. So, today I want to talk about something that is really important to me. It's actually a conversation I've been having with a lot of people recently, and with the kids that I interact with. And today we are going to talk about choosing kindness when it's not an easy thing to do and being forgiving in a world that is really loud, because I think that's a really important topic to discuss. And it's something that I personally struggle with a lot. You all might think that I'm like the nicest person ever, but I am not always the nicest person. And sometimes, especially as someone who works with kids, I have to remind myself and teach the kids how to be kind and how to be forgiving. And so I just wanted to kind of share a little bit with you guys my thoughts on this. So lately, I've been seeing a lot of negativity. There's always been a lot of negativity. There's a lot of bad things happening in our world, bad things happening around us. And that has brought a lot of negativity into spaces that I'm around. And that's something that can be heavy for a lot of people. I'm very lucky that a lot of these things, they don't, it's not that they don't impact me. I just know how to kind of separate them from myself. So I haven't been negatively impacted severely in any way by any of these things. So I know a lot of the time when I talk about stuff like this, people are always like, "Are you okay?" Yes, I'm good. Just I'm using my platform and I'm using the different things that I have to share with you guys and talk about things that are important. So I'm not this isn't about anything specific. I do want to say that too. This isn't about any specific thing. I don't If you've been following me for a while, you know that I don't publicly, most of the time, 98% of the time, take sides on situations or talk about situations in specifics, talk about specifics of situations unless I need to. And this isn't about anything specific. This is just something that has been on my heart for a while. So, yeah, just my little side note disclaimer moment. So, I'm just here to talk about kindness because I think as a society, as people, we are losing that skill. We are losing the importance of that. And I think that it is time for us to get back on track. So, okay. So, a little bit of what I've been seeing recently is like people are just really quick to react. They are turning their own personal hurt into really harsh words. Things are escalating, especially online. And I will say that it is a lot easier to be mean to people online because you don't have to physically say it to them, and your conscience doesn't stop you from saying certain things to people online because there's a screen in between you. And so that kind of prevents that whole thing, which kind of makes the whole cyberbullying and being mean to people that you know on the internet a bigger issue because there's not that level of like guilt necessarily. And but one of the problems with being online and dealing with things online is it escalates quickly because it's public. And for me personally, I will talk about in another episode a little bit about my content creator journey, being a DZ creator, what I've experienced. But for a little, I'm going to touch on it a little bit. For me, I have experienced a lot of people being mean to me or saying hurtful things, and they think they can just because I can't see them, or they just feel like they can be fast to judge because I'm just on a screen. And I just want to remind you guys that the people that you watch on social media, the actors that you watch on TV, the influencers that you follow, whether it's me, whether it's any other DZ creator, any other influencer in general, any actor, and this is something that I've talked about a lot, especially when there's a lot of DZ drama going on, is we're all people. Yes, we put ourselves in the spotlight, so automatically, well, you should know when you put yourself in the spotlight, you are going to be subject to getting more hate. And that is something that I actually struggled with at first. I struggled with the idea of getting hate. I struggled with the idea of people having opinions. And that's why for a really long time I never posted anything publicly. However, once I realized that their opinions don't matter, And what really matters is my opinion and the people that loves me opinions and my friends' opinion, and most importantly the Lord's opinion. Once I realize that those are the things that matter, then I'm able to drown out all those other noises, because unfortunately I do get a lot of hate online, and it can be really hard, especially because most of the hate is branched off of my I get hate for the way that I dance, I get hate for the way that I sing. Those are things that I have also struggled with throughout my life to become comfortable with because of different situations. So sometimes when you hear those little comments, it's like it's almost as if you're getting confirmation of the negative thoughts that have been going through your head. But you really have to reposition your mindset and be like, these people don't know me. They're just saying it because they can. And I always choose to ignore it. If you've ever been on a live stream with me, you know that sometimes I do say something, and most of the time I'm being really sassy. Sometimes it gets to me and I just end the live, and that's okay too, because I am human. So, um, yeah, it's just been things have been escalating online. Rumors get spread. People feel like they can say anything they want because they're behind a screen and the screen is their safety. And that is not necessarily true. Or even though it is true that you're behind a screen, your words still have an impact on people's lives, and your words impact more than just yourself. That's the other thing. There's not a lot of mercy, not a lot of grace, not a lot of understanding in a lot of these situations that I've been seeing or experienced in my own life. People are just really fast to being mean and not understanding or taking into consideration that you are a person as well. And it's kind of, for me, I've had to remind myself that the Lord literally died. Jesus died on a cross, the most painful of deaths, for someone like me who I sin all the time. I don't spend enough time with Jesus. I don't do the right things. I don't say the right things. I make bad choices. I'm mean to people. Like, I do all these different things. And he knew that. And he still died the most severe of deaths for my life because he loved and cared about me, and he forgave me, and he gives me countless opportunities and countless chances to come back to him, and yet I can still come back to him. So the fact that the Lord does that, and then I feel like I'm so good that I can't forgive someone else, like that concept, that doesn't make sense. Who are you to think you are so good that you can't forgive someone, you can't show mercy, you can't show grace? That means that you think that, like, you're above it. Like, you can't do that. Like, that doesn't make any sense, you know? And there's a difference between showing grace and showing mercy to others and forgetting and being irresponsible with your forgiveness. You can forgive people because we're supposed to forgive people, but that doesn't mean you go back to them if they were treating you wrongly. Doesn't mean you go back to that friendship, go back to that person. That's not what that means. It means that you forgive them in your heart and you let it go, but then you have to be wise and not go back to that same situation. In my own life, I've experienced this. I won't go into much detail, but there was a situation when I just started high school with a friend, and it was a really difficult situation. It really negatively impacted me mentally, socially. I didn't trust anyone anymore. I lost a lot of friends. And it was all because of the situation that I had with one friend in particular. And I had a lot of trouble trusting adults. And I had a lot of trouble for many weeks getting myself to forgive this person for what they did to me, because they genuinely changed my life in the worst way and negatively impacted my life so drastically. Like, people don't really understand. I don't even think my parents grasp how bad that situation was for me, because I was like 12. So obviously if it was now, it probably wouldn't have as big of an impact on me. But I was young. So, but I remember the situation happened in August, and I remember in September I came back from a youth group session one night, and we were talking about forgiveness, and we were talking about, not, you don't have to go to the person necessarily, but you need in your heart to not hold anything against them, and you need to forgive them. And if you feel like you need to tell them, you can. And it's not going to be easy, but is what is expected of us. And I remember coming home and sitting outside and just praying and being like, okay, Lord, I'm going to forgive this person, even though it is so difficult, even though they don't deserve it. But the reality is, I don't deserve forgiveness either. So I forgave them in my heart. And then I reached out and I said, hey, I forgive you. I'm sorry if I did anything to offend you, blah, blah, blah. They never read it, which is, they've never said anything about it. They never discussed it, which is fine. But the point was that I had to realize that just as the Lord forgives me for all of the bad stuff that I do, I need to be forgiving of others, especially since I'm supposed to be like Jesus. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and hopefully encourage you. We're going to take a little break and we're going to do a segment.
Torie recommends.
Today, I want to recommend a show. I want to recommend to you guys Percy Jackson. I don't know if you've ever watched Percy Jackson. My friend Peyton, had me watch it, and when season 2 came out, I started it from the beginning because I'd never watched it before. It is genuinely so good. I love it. I cannot wait for season 3. When season 3 comes out, I'm gonna do a series on my channel of me reacting to it. I filmed a video of me reacting to the season 2 finale, but I can't upload it, so I'm trying to figure out how to get that done because I really like that video because I have some really funny reactions. But definitely recommending Percy Jackson. It's on Disney Plus. It is so good. The actors are amazing. They're so fun. Like behind the scenes, if you ever watch behind the scenes or their interviews, they're such funny humans. So I definitely recommend that. That is my recommendation of the day. Okay, back to what we were talking about. I just feel like everything has been turning into an argument rather than a conversation. So I will be the first to say I have a lot of trouble with having conversations with people. There is a reason that I can't have conversations with people. Some people don't understand that reason, and that's okay. And I struggle with those people who just expect me to have a conversation and expect me to talk about my feelings. Like, that's literally not how I operate, but that's a different situation. But I do also realize that when it comes to being angry, when it comes to having big emotions, it's like I say to the little kids that I nanny, like, you have to talk about it. You have to talk about what made you upset so that the other person understands, and you can't be yelling. Can't, you have to, and you might have to take some time. You might have to take a break, and that's also something that I think is really important is you might just have to step back. And that's something that I know about myself. I always have to step back in high intense situations because I'm really quick to getting angry. You just have to know yourself. And if someone hurt you, if someone made you upset, if someone hurt your feelings, if someone said something bad about you, what I do, what I would recommend you do, because also I was bullied for a lot of my life. So when I was younger. Also I used to bully others as a result of that. But I have gained a lot of knowledge also helping other people through situations throughout middle school, throughout high school, throughout now. Like helping others through situations, I've learned a lot about myself and I've learned a lot about different skills that will help you when you are feeling upset or when someone has hurt you. The first thing that I always recommend is to step back. Just take a break. Don't talk to that person. Don't talk about that person. Don't interact with that person. The most that I would say you can talk about that person or the situation is to your closest friends. Don't bring it like, I would say, and the reason I say that is because when you're angry and in a heat of a moment, you're going to say things that you will later regret. Now, a lot of people will say, I don't regret what I said. And in all honesty, I will say the things you say when you're angry, 99% of the times are the things that you think normally. There are certain situations where this is not the case. Like there are some people whose brains shut down when they're in high anxiety or high anger situations. I'm one of those people, and I say a lot of things that I don't mean because I don't have control over it. But that's not the case for most people. Most people mean what they say. It's like that saying, drunk thoughts or sober thoughts. What you say when you're under the influence is what you've been thinking about. That kind of thing. So take a break. Like, then the next step I would say is if you can, have a conversation with the person that hurt you. Have a civil conversation with the person that hurt you. because they might have a perspective about something that you don't know about, or you might have accidentally done something to them that you don't even know was wrong and they were reacting, and then you're both reacting to the other person doing something wrong, and it's like a big cycle of things. So always try to talk to the person if you can. Then one of the one of the things that is really important is that when you think about being kind to others, I want you to remember that kindness is a choice, but it does not mean you're weak. It does not mean that you are excusing someone's behavior. It doesn't mean that you're agreeing with someone's behavior. It means that you are choosing peace. And you don't have to match someone's negative energy, ramped up energy, to be valid. You can make valid points calmly. And that's the other thing. Like, I am really good at this when I'm not in the heat of a moment. I can say things that hurt people or get my, not hurt people, that's the wrong way to say it. I can say things that get my point across without cussing somebody out. I don't really ever say bad words. I used to when I was in middle school, and that was a habit that I spent a lot of time cutting out, and that's not something that I do, but I can be just as impactful without using certain words or calling people names or whatever it is. And yeah. And then you can feel hurt and still respond with grace and love, because love is the most powerful thing. It says it in the Bible. Love is so powerful. God is love. So responding with hate is not going to get you anywhere. But responding with love is going to get somewhere. Not everything needs to be a public response. Heavy on this one. I know you want to go online and you want to tell everybody about what this person did to you. I know. I've wanted to do that before multiple times. Okay? I know that it is so tempting to go on the internet and bash someone because it's easy. It is an easy way for you to get your point across. It's an easy way for you to get a bunch of people on your side, but it isn't worth it. You going to the internet to deal with something means that you are hurting so many more people than you know, because your words are like like a ripple, like a ripple effect. Like when you have a puddle and a raindrop drops and it ripples out and it ripples out, ripples out all the way to the end. Like your words, that one little word is now affecting a bunch of people you probably didn't even mean to hurt. And if you think about that, if you think about the fact that you might have anger towards this one person and now you've hurt like 10 people, that's kind of crazy. So I really would suggest thinking about not going to the public, not going to the internet when you want to deal with something. Now, I will say, if it's a situation where someone's going to be hurt, if it's a situation where there are some situations where I understand that, but 98% of the time, it's just not a good idea. Another thing that I've learned is that silence can be strength. Sometimes it'll a lot more impactful for you not to say anything, because 99% of the time, the person who's being mean to you wants a reaction. I learned this. Not very early, but I learned it eventually, and it definitely helped me along the way of, I know that people want a reaction out of me, so I'm not saying anything. And that actually kind of hurts them worse, because now you've kind of made it boring and they're going to give up. And yes, it's hard. And no, I don't want you to keep it inside. Like, find those people you can trust and talk to them about it. But, like, don't respond to the person's mean comments. Don't respond to the person's mean posts. Don't respond to the sly remarks. Whatever it is. Like, just ignore it. Because silence is strength. And then I just want to talk about forgiveness a little bit. Forgiveness is not excusing someone's behavior. I feel like this is a big misconception. Forgiving someone does not mean that you say that their behavior. You are honestly releasing yourself from the pain, and it's for your heart more than it is for theirs. Like, because the reality is, you can apologize and someone can't accept your apology. That used to happen a lot to me when I was younger. I used to apologize to people and they wouldn't accept my apology. And the reality is, that's up to them. And I don't have to, after that, I'm not supposed to go back and beg for their forgiveness. Because what are you begging for? It's literally not that serious. It's for your own heart. It's for you to let go of that situation, let go of the hatred, and say, I'm done with this. Holding on to anger and holding on to bad things like that, it only hurts you in the long run. It makes your overall mood worse. It makes your overall, like, probably your your quality of life worse. So just let it go. But it takes time, and that's okay. It takes time to forgive people. Like, you might say, "Hey, I forgive you," and you don't mean it. It takes time, and I'm not disregarding that. Like, for me, I know it takes a long time for me to forgive people, and I'm working on that. But it's still something that you got to work on, and you have to work towards. And then I just remind myself daily that I'm called to love people, even when it's hard, even when I don't understand, even when I don't agree with them. I am called to love my neighbor as myself. I am called to love because God is love. There are a lot of people that I don't agree with their views. I don't agree with how they treat others. I don't agree with the things that they say, and I still have to love them. Now, I don't have to follow them. That's not following what they say. I'm not following what they do. But just because I disagree with you, one, doesn't mean I can't be your friend. You will not treat me wrong and be my friend, though. That's my thing. But just because I don't have the same views as you does not mean you can't be my friend. I have a lot of friends that have totally different views than me, but you will not disrespect me and my views, and I won't disrespect yours. I will share the love of Jesus with you because that's what I'm called to do. And if you want to mock Jesus or Christianity, bye bye. You won't be my friend. I'll still love you, but like, you're not disrespecting me and expect respect back, you know? But you have to be a light. Don't add to the darkness. This world is dark. This world is cruel. This world is awful, like, in the sense of, like, there's so much pain and so much hurt. Like, don't add to that. Extend grace the way that it was extended to you. Like, even if you at this time don't believe in God or don't know the story of the gospel, first of all, you can come talk to me about it. But second of all, like, you know what the golden rule is. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. I learned the golden rule when I was in kindergarten in a Berenstein Bears book with my school counselor. Like, and not just common knowledge. Like, don't be mean. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. Think about, hey, if someone wants to do this to me, would I like it? No? Okay, so I'm not going to do it to them. Even though I really want to. I really want to say something mean about this person, but I'm not going to, because if they said it about me, I'd probably be mad. Or, hey, I'm really want to tell everyone, don't be friends with this person. But I'm not going to say that, because that's mean. And I wouldn't want someone doing that kind of thing. And it takes time. And it takes people holding you accountable as well. So, here's a few practical takeaways. Well, okay, before we do our practical takeaways. Anyway, so here are the takeaways. Real quick, some takeaways, practical takeaways you can take from this. Pause before responding. Don't engage in everything. Pray or reflect before reacting. Check your intentions. Are you helping or hurting yourself or the situation? Choose private conversations over public ones. We can't control what everyone does, but we can control how we show up to the situation. Kindness is still a very powerful thing, and forgiveness is still very worth it, even though it doesn't feel like it. You do not need to be the loudest voice. Just be the better one. And that is all for today's episode. I am so glad to be back. If you have any ideas of things you want me to talk about in future episodes, you can DM me. You can comment on this podcast episode right now, and let me know. And also, I posted recently, if you wanted to support me in my acting journey, I have some ways that you can support me. Ways like check my Etsy, buy something from my Etsy. Direct donations are always loved. Even just helping me hit my goal of 10K on TikTok and 500 on YouTube, that's also really helpful, because then I can start monetizing, and that is a wonderful way for me to earn money. So anything that you can do, or any way that you can support me, I am very grateful for. Make sure you follow me on TikTok at TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, and Instagram at Torie Dory with 3 Y's. TORIEDORYYY. And I have a new TikTok called Torie Sings, TORIE Sings. So make sure you head over there. I might be doing something fun for everyone that follows me over there. So make sure you don't miss out on it. And I love you guys. Jesus loves you. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.
Torie Talks, signing out. See you next time. Bye.